My speech is on perception. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. That is a quote by Edgar Allan Poe. Everyone asks themselves the question, how far do I believe I can go? Or how much do I believe I can achieve? Perception is the organization, identification, and interpretation of sensory information in order to represent and understand the environment. We are only limited by our perceptions. Our perceptions truly limit or empower us. Perception is a double-edged sword which we ourselves wield. Perception affects our every view on life. The way one person sees something can be completely different from another person's view on the same subject. As you can see right here, my visual aid shows the Marilyn Monroe Albert Einstein picture, where at this perspective you see Albert Einstein, but at a different perspective, like farther away, or if the picture was smaller, you'd see Marilyn Monroe. This is just one example of perception. Perception can affect how you see yourself. Self-perception determines our behavior. If we think we are inadequate, we act that way. If we think we are splendid, we act that way. We are stopped by what we think our needs are. What we think we want is what we employ to try and escape from our fears and self-hatred. If you perceive yourself as smart or confident, then you will have that mentality, which will help you on your next test, for example. Perception can affect the way you view other people. Person perception refers to the different mental processes that we use to form impressions of other people. We make different conclusions about other people based on our impressions. For an example, your first impression of someone is usually the one that lasts the longest. What other information do we use to form impressions of others? Factors that can influence your perception you form of other people include the characteristics of that person, the context of the situation, and your personal traits. This is a little excerpt written by Kendra Cherry on her personal perception blog. For an example, your perception of a family member will be completely different if you are comparing them to a complete stranger. Your perception can be affected by your fears. Your perception can create fear, but then your fear can take over your perception. Fear can spawn from things such as a scary movie, which can make harmless things seem scary. For an example, just like in the movie Mirrors, your mind can make every mirror seem like it is an opening to another dimension filled with horror and despair. Fear can spawn from rejections. It can make simple gestures seem extreme and form signs of rejection. Just like if you applied for 10 different places and nobody accepted you, your confidence would go completely down, and your perception will be that I can't and never will get a job. Tricking your perception can be easy, so be careful. Magic tricks are a good way to fool your perception. Tricks such as the disappearing handkerchief can easily make your mind believe that it can actually disappear. But really, the magician is just playing with your eyes. It's called sleight of hand. Another more cruel way to trick your perception is to lie. Lying, even though it is wrong, can be an easy way to get someone to believe what is not true, just because your mind focuses on what you perceive out of the situation. Just don't try this on women, because they can sniff it out from a mile away. And that's not a very good idea. In conclusion, perception is a cause for confidence, fear, and even your belief. Perception affects the way you see yourself, others, and it can be affected by fear or even tricked. Do you believe you are in control of your perception, or is your perception in control of you? I challenge you to see how long you can fool your perception for a positive reason, forming confidence that will be beneficial to you and your life in general.